Of the hundreds of football TV shows that I have watched, there is not a single one that can surprise and excite me the way Supa Strikas does. The way this show goes from 0 to 100 in just under 22 minutes is absolutely stupid, but for some reason, like black fathers leaving their children behind for some milk, I just keep coming back to this peak show. Supa Strikas is a South African TV show about a fictional football team dubbed the greatest. Despite their enormous talent, the players must adapt in a game where being the best is only the beginning, and where the opposition is always full of surprises. The keywords here are opponents and surprises, because ladies and gentlemen, in this show we have espionage, sabotage, AI generated football players, footballers on steroids, mad scientists, and wait, Batman. The type of randomness in Supa Strikas low-key reminds me of regular show.
That horse right there fell out of the sky and has to pass a US history test or the whole earth is gonna explode.
Almost all Supa Strikas episodes are standalones, but the episode I want to talk about the most is the episode where Shakes created the Knuckle Bowl, Shakes on a train. So the episode starts with a match, and I'm not gonna lie, Supa Strikas are cooking. Shakes is on the ball like Croqueta, V-turn round automatic, but then out of nowhere the weather changes, the entire pitch gets foggy. Dang, what is going on? But before Shakes even had time to think about it, two invincible United defenders were here to tackle him. And just as Shakes was beating those defenders, the weather changed again, and this time it was raining. But hey, a little bit of rain is not stopping Shakes, because he beat Scara 1v1 at the keeper. Golazo. But this really got me thinking, like, these football TV shows really don't like defenders. Like, tell me why we have Onazi like teleporting around the field, and Mbappe over here running at the speed of light, and now in Supa Strikas we got Scara defending. Now what is the point of having defenders if you're just gonna make the strikers defend? But I digress. Anyway, Shakes just scored, Invincible United lost. But how was the weather changing every 2 minutes? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it turns out Supa Strikas are not actually playing a match in real life, because this is virtual reality. Supa Strikas are using virtual reality to help themselves play better on different weather conditions, hence the weather changing every 2 minutes. So they get out of this Ready Player One looking machine, and we got Prop talking about some Shakes. That was only the tip of the iceberg. With this machine, you could play against the best players in Super League history. Now in real life terms, these guys were basically like the icons, the Peles, the Maradonas, the R9, the Cruyff, you know those guys. Shakes was getting hyped up. He really wanted to play against these legends, but coach was like, hell nah, you are not touching this machine. We need to play Invincible United this weekend. You guys need to rest up. So they finish training and are about to leave, but then coach shows up and gives them a day off. He needs them to rest up so that they can be in tip-top shape against Invincible United. But just as they were leaving, somebody was watching them, and we obviously know it's Scara, and when Scara's on the screen, we know he's up to no good. So Shakes gets into his car and leaves, and Scara obviously follows him. But Shakes isn't going anywhere. Remember that machine coach told him not to touch, not to even think about? Yeah, this man Shakes really thought about that and said, fuck all that! He really went there, turned on the machine, selected the legends, the specific legends coach told him not to play against. And he's really talking about some, I'ma just play one game. Just one game. Man, this nigga Shakes never listens. Like, every time coach tells him not to do something, he goes ahead and does the exact opposite. I'm low-key starting to feel bad for his mom, because how do you raise such a son? This man Shakes is really trying to run a 1v legend against Super League legends. Like, coach warned him against it for a reason. But while Shakes was doing what he loved in VR, someone else was doing what they love in real life. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Scara was here to sabotage Shakes. I swear, this is his favorite thing to do. The cameraman cuts to Shakes, and this man is getting destroyed. Rainbow flip into an air spin volley, goal. Like, this match is not even close. These legends are just spamming in goals. Like, what did he think was going to happen? Him alone with no goalkeeper versus 11 legends. Like, Shakes, do you have a brain? But anyways, the game ends, and it's time for Shakes to get back to reality. But to his surprise, he winds right back into the game. The game glitched. In fact, the entire system is glitched. Scara sabotaged him. He's stuck in the game. Prof gives coach a phone call and calls him to the lab, and we all already know the reason why. But we cut back to Shakes, and I ain't gonna lie, this man is getting hooked. These legends just keep demolishing him, and each time he loses, instead of going back to reality, he winds back into the locker room. Like, it was starting to get scary. Every time he played, he lost, and every time he got back into the locker room, he had to play again. This is a scary situation. Imagine being stuck in a video game. You gotta get back to reality. He even got desperate and tried to run out of the stadium, only to find out that everything is pixelated. There is no way out of this one. Prof explains that they can't just yank Shakes out of the machine because he will die. The only way for Shakes to get out is if he wins. But the whole time I'm sitting there like, bro, why don't you just turn off the machine? When your PlayStation glitches, you turn it off. Like, Why can't they just do that? Dancing Rasta and the entire team decide to get into the game and help out Shakes. Man, I gotta say, Shakes, you've got some real homies, because these guys are putting their life on the line to save you. They don't even know if they're gonna win. The way these guys are standing, this is Loki starting to feel like the Avengers versus Thanos. But even though they assembled the Avengers, Supa Strikas were still getting cooked. These legends are going crazy. Individual talents on top. Volley, golazo, Big Bo had zero chance. It really looked like the Supa Strikas had no chance at all. They lost 3-0 on their first match without even a shot on target. They don't really have a choice, so they try to beat them again, and this time they're actually doing a little better. Their chemistry is way better now. Twisting Tigers on the bowl, step over, outside foot into the upside down spin jitsu. Tiger straight spamming spin jitsu like I spam legs on Liu Kang. He squares the ball into Shakes. Shakes volley and it looks like it's going in, but oh my days, this brother coach moving like Aiku. But hey, at least this time they got their first shot on target. This means that they're getting better and better. With enough tries, they'll eventually make it out. Except they only have 1 attempt left because the machine is tweaking outside. This thing is on fire. One wrong move and it shuts down and they all die. Alright, this is how big the stakes in Supa Strikas are. This kid's cartoon has higher stakes than Hajime no Ippo. Alright, higher stakes than Avengers Civil War. We can't be serious, man. Dancing Rasta gives the team a speech. They are an actual team, but the legends, they all come from different teams. They have no chemistry. They got straight red links, so Supa Strikas gotta go there and show them how a real team plays. With one last match with their lives on the line, Supa Strikas are ready to give it their all. So kickoff begins, Rasta backhills the ball to El Matador. El Matador plays it back to Rasta, making a triangle play around that defender. Rasta plays a long ball to Cujo. Cujo beats his defender and crosses it to Klaus. Klaus beats his defender but loses the ball in the process. And the legends just continue to assert dominance over the Supa Strikas, showing them that individually, player for player, they are the better players. 360 roulette around block, beautiful shot past Big Bo, and it looks like it is going in, but out of nowhere, North Shaw makes a goal line clearance. The game is collapsing. It's the last play of the game. It's now or never. Big Bo throws a long ball into the other half of the field, marking the start of the counter attack. Tiger and Cujo use teamwork to beat a legend at his own game. Rasta plays the pass to El Matador. El Matador and Klaus do some 1-2s around coach, but then the entire third stage of the pitch begins to collapse. El Matador doesn't know what to do. But you know who does? Shakes does. He parkours to the highest pixel on the field. Beautiful accurate pass from El Matador. Shakes takes the shot. It looks like it's going to the top right, but then the game shuts down. Yeah, they lost. This was actually the last episode of Supa Strikas and everybody died. Nah, I'm playing. Right after that, the cameraman cuts to their game against Invincible United and you get Scara talking about some my plan worked. Supa Strikas are not here. It means they are not gonna show up. And then you just see Supa Strikas coming out the tunnel like superstars. I mean, they are superstars. Ref blows and the game finally begins. But that is a story for another day. The match begins and Shakes is on the ball. He beats Scara and unleashes that Knuckle Bowl. And to nobody's surprise, he scores the first goal of the game. But something isn't right. Scara is not phased. On the next play, Scara's on the ball. Dribbles past my GOAT Tiger. 1v3. Then he looks back at Shakes. Smirks. Then boom! Knuckle Bowl. And Big Bo had no chance because of the swerve. He dived the wrong way. And I gotta say, this celebration was tough. It looks like that one famous celebration South Africa did in the 2010 World Cup. And look at Shakes' face right now. He's really moving like,
he copied my whole flow! Word for word, bar for bar!
And now we learned that Scara wasn't trying to strength Shakes in the middle of nowhere. He was just trying to steal the machine. He didn't even know Shakes was inside the machine at the time. He was just trying to steal it so he could use it and learn the Knuckle Bowl himself. And that is exactly what he did. So we get back to the game and this man Scara is straight spamming. Boom! Knuckle Bowl. And Big Bo just can't stop it. Scara keeps scoring and keeps trash talking and Shakes every time he does it.
You are a failure. You can never make it.
But Shakes wasn't about to let that slide because on the next play, Tiger's on the ball, cross to Klaus, Tiki Taka around the defender. Shakes and Klaus chemistry is off the charts. Klaus passes to Shakes and boom! Knuckle Bowl. Woo hoo hoo! Shakes is cooking. This episode is so peak. Shakes and Scara are cooking. They are straight spamming. They are going band for band, shot for shot, Knuckle Bowl for Knuckle Bowl, goal for goal. Like it got to a point where the game was 5-5 and Shakes and Scara had scored all 5 for each team. What the hell? They're really moving like Ronaldo and Zlatan in that one Euro qualifiers game. Ronaldo and Zlatan hard carried. The score was 3-2 and they both scored all of their team's goals. It's the last minute and Supa Strikas are on the ball. Klaus with the Di Maria, what the hell? He plays the ball to Shakes and Scara fouls him. Dang, Chiellini, is that you? Shakes is awarded a free kick, but dang, look at how far the free kick is. It's just dang near at the halfway line. But if there is anything I've learned from Supa Strikas, it's to never doubt Shakes. But in that moment, I was thinking, too far for Shakes to think about it. But boy, oh boy, was I wrong, because this man Shakes stepped up for the free kick and eyed the goal. Shakes shot the ball, and at first it was looking like he was aiming at absolutely nothing, and then it began to curl back in. Too far for Shakes to think about it. Absolutely sensational.
Too far for Ronaldo to think about it. Beaten for pain.
In the dying minutes of the game, Shakes has managed to score the winning goal because the ref blows full time and the game. You guys really blew up my Supa Strikas video, and I had a lot of comments telling me to make more. So that had me thinking, we've all seen Supa Strikas, we all know Shakes is a superstar, but how did it all happen? What was it like before he became a superstar? How did Shakes become, well, Shakes? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the one and only proper answer to all of those questions. Supa Strikas rookie season. Rookie Season is a Supa Strikas prequel about Shakes' journey from playing for his local team to joining the best team in the world, Real Madrid. Nah, I'm kidding. Supa Strikas. Alright, let's begin. So the first episode begins in Cosmos universe. Ninja's on the ball and he's about to take Notestraw in a 1v1, but we can already see from his facial expression that this guy has no confidence. Inside foot to the right and Notestraw makes the tackle. Long ball to Rasta, chest, Rocketta around this guy. The cameraman takes a sip of a drink and pans to Shakes. And Shakes is on some now, Rasta. Pass it now. And I swear, dancing Rasta has a Sharingan because every time I see him on the ball, he's always looking up. On his right, Mitoma's making a run and wow, look at how he dusted that fullback. He's barely in the frame. Twisting Tiger? Nah, call him Heung-Min Son. Rasta plays the pass and you already know what's coming. Spin Jitsu! The cameraman pans to Shakes and he's like, now Tiger, now! Tiger makes the cross and the cross flies to automatic. What? Where is Shakes? Shakes is at home watching Supa Strikas on TV, boy. Yeah, look at him. He's just like us. And then we learned that Supa Strikas were actually dominating this game but were unable to score because this Nkomo over here was messing up all the chances. He's legit moving like Darwin Núñez. That's why on the next play, El Matador really got the ball, looked at him, but really said, nah, I'll do this myself.
Messi, encara 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 Messi, gol, 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 El Matador has just leveled the game 1-1. Shakes' mom is here, so he turns off the TV, gets his iPad and pretends he's looking for a job online. She gives him a speech about the 4 fundamentals of football that his father taught him, and then she calls him downstairs for a family meeting. And this is basically what happened in the family meeting. Shakes, 10 years ago, your father died and will forever be in our memory, but you and your little sister are the future of this family. Shakes, you are incredibly gifted academically. You graduated school at 16, but that was 4 months ago. So now it's time you get a real job, Shakes. I am broke and cannot keep sustaining this family. You need to get a job and help me out. And then Shakes basically just said, you know what, mommy, you are absolutely correct. In fact, Spencer and I are gonna go look for a job right now. And I'm not gonna lie, when I was watching the show, that sounded legit. I legit thought he was going to go look for a job, but nah, that was bullcrap. Shakes and Spencer actually didn't leave to go look for a job. They just left for practice. So they get to the training ground and is that who I think it is? Ladies and gentlemen, I can confirm that your eyes are not deceiving you. This is in fact Shakes' invincible United rival, Scara. What? Yes, you heard and saw that correctly. Shakes and Scara are homeboys for real. Like, they even got this deadly duo thing going on where Shakes makes the plays and Scara scores the goals. They play a mini game in preparation for their upcoming game on Saturday, and oh my, Shakes and Scara are cooking. Scara's on the ball, drag back, Shibobo on this guy, shoots, top corner, golazo. And having Spencer as the goalie really reminded me of school football. Like, we just be putting the fattest kids as keeper. And worst thing is, they were always the best keepers. Shakes and Scara have top tier chemistry. They are all green links. They are moving like if Ronaldo and Messi were on the same team. That's how broken they are. But there is only one problem. In front of goal, this man Scara is the most selfish nigga on planet Earth. They finally finish with their training session and then Scara receives a message that apparently a Super League agent is going to be at their next match on Saturday. Man, what an opportunity. Just imagine you're playing for your local team and then one day you just just get a message. Jiggy, Pep Guardiola's coming to scout for players in your next game. Like, sign me up, man. He won't be disappointed. Everyone is hyped, but they really just hyped for Scara, man. They don't really believe in Shakes like that. Like, they really like, whoa, Scara, this could be you. And then they look at Shakes and be like, oh yeah, you too, Shake. You also have a pretty good chance, you know. Like, it was so bad that even Shakes himself didn't believe in himself. He believed in Scara. Like, it literally took Spencer to convince him that, bro, you also have a chance. Scara invites Shakes for pizza, but Shakes respectfully declines because, like, he finally got the motivation he needed to start training. Spencer uses a lost Supa Strikas training program to create his own, like, knockoff version of it, all because he's trying to help his homeboy Shakes perform when the Super League agent is scouting on Saturday. Man, Spencer's really that best friend we all need in life, man. Like, anytime Shakes is in need of help, he is always there. Invincible United are cheating? Call Spencer. Technically and Tony Vern are cheating again? Call Spencer. You're taking a crap and you realize the toilet paper roll is finished? Call Spencer.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But little do Shakes and Scara know, somebody's watching them. Spoiler alert, it's Scara. I just had to say it. Anyways, so this training program consists of 4 fundamental parts: skills, training, strategy, and teamwork. But Spencer was missing a piece of that program, so he wasn't able to build a teamwork part of this training drill. Shakes goes to a training montage, and obviously at first he was flopping because it's his first time. After enough trial and failure, Shakes goes for it one more time, and this time he's doing quite well. Even though he's missing a bit, but he's getting through. He got through the skills part, but for some reason Scara decided to snitch at him and call the security guard. Now it's time for the training part, and my guy Shakes is on a roll because he beats this level as well. But now it's time for his biggest challenge yet: strategy. Shakes improvises, jumps on a crane around the obstacle, and mid-air he jumps off the crane, spins, manifests the zone, bicycle kick, goal. Oh my days. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. The security guard catches them lacking and chases them out, so they jump over the fence and get out of there. So they get back home and Shakes is grounded. What? Yeah, I know exactly what you're thinking. Why is Shakes grounded? Well, that's kind of my fault. You see, Shakes' little sister had a presentation to do at school which Shakes was supposed to attend, but obviously he forgot to attend. His sister does not have a problem with that, but his mom does, and because of that, he is grounded. Fast forward a few hours, it's Saturday, and Shakes is trying to sneak out the house in order to attend the game. His mom catches him trying to escape, and they have a little argument, and his mom is an L for real. She's not supportive of this football thing that Shakes is doing. She legit said this family does not need another footballer, it needs a supporter. Man, like, I'm starting to get tired of this woman. Like, just let my boy play his football match, like, come on. But when all hope was lost, his sister came in clutch, and she rose a really good point. She basically asked their mom that as a family, isn't it the right thing to be supportive of Shakes' dreams? The mom was speechless. And then Scara adds on that there's gonna be a Super League scout in the match, and Shakes has a really good chance at being chosen. His mom still didn't want to let him go, but like, the pressure was too high, man. She told him that this was his last chance, his last game of football, all or nothing. If he impresses the scout, he becomes a professional footballer, and if he doesn't, he quits football and finds another job, I guess. Shakes and Scara leave, but instead of going for the match, they go for something called the Super League experience. They obviously both participate in this Super League experience, and turns out this thing is basically like Ready Player One, but then for the Premier League. Spencer and Nandi finally arrive to the game, and do you see that in the background? That is not Nigeria or Kenya. That is 100% Soweto in South Africa. So next time someone comes in my comment section and says that this show is Kenyan or Nigerian, no, it's not. It's South African. So the cameraman cuts to Shakes and Scara, and these men are cooking. Shakes does a rainbow flick, beautiful pass to Scara, fake shot, cheap bobo shot, top corner, golazo. It's the deadly duo. The cameraman cuts to Spencer and Nandi, and turns out Shakes and Scara are running late for the match, and their teammates are beginning to worry because without them two, their team is trash. These bums are definitely gonna lose the game. Shakes and Scara are balling out in this Super League experience. Shakes is scoring goal after goal. It got to the point where he was nearing the high score. Croqueta around two players, Iniesta style, sombrero around the sliding defender, spin, Ate Cristiano, golazo. Shakes was playing so well that he even got a crowd. Scara explains to the invigilator that him and Shakes have got to go. They have a match to attend, but because Shakes was so close to beating the high score, she didn't want to let him go. She promised to let Shakes go as soon as he beat the high score and even drive him to the match herself. Shakes is running away from the invigilator, but lucky for him, he bumps into Spencer, who was using Scara's car. The cameraman cuts to Scara, and he is doing not bad, he's just not scoring. That's the only problem. Shakes finally makes it to the match, and turns out there is no Super League scout. Or is there? So the game restarts and Shakes and Scara are bowling out tiki-taka like 2009 Barcelona. Long ball to Scara, chest, header, golazo. These two are really moving like Ronaldo and Ozil in that one season. Scara's on the ball, drag back, fake pass to Shakes, making it an easy tap-in. Shakes' mom is here and this L is smiling at him. Cut the crap, nigga, we all know you're not supportive of him. Shakes looks to the crowd and sees the Super League scout. Well, now it's game on, boys. Shake gets the ball, dribble past players and begins having flashbacks. A bunch of moves get to his head and he chooses the one and only bicycle kick. He jumps, spins, takes the shots, and it's over the bar. Shakes is devastated, but the ref blows and the game is over. So they get back to the locker room, and guess who got an invitation for a trial at Strikerland? Not Shakes, Scara. Unfortunately, everybody's gone home, but guess who stayed behind to take some shots? The GOAT, Shakes. He is furious. He is angry, sad, happy, everything at the same time. But do you know who else stayed behind? My mom. Oh, nah, I'm kidding. It was the Super League agent, Coach. And just like that, Shakes also got an invitation for a trial at Strikerland. Fast forward a few days and it's time for the trials. Trial day at Strikerland. And why does Strikerland low-key look like that one stadium I'd always create in Dream League Soccer, even though I knew I'd never have the funds to buy it? So here's how the trial is going to work. This trial is gonna be based on the 4 fundamentals of football: skills, training, strategy, and obviously teamwork. And the first fundamental they were being tested on was skills. So basically what they have to do is try and get the ball past North Shaw. If you manage to get past him, you get a plus point. And after all 4 fundamentals are assessed, whoever has the most points is going to be selected and basically be the trial winner. So the first person to go was this guy, but wait, I remember this guy. He was there in Shakes and Scara's game, man. But anyways, that didn't stop him from getting absolutely clamped by North Shaw. And up next is my boy Shakes. Come on Shakes, I believe in you. Come on Shakes, you got this. Oh, everybody else including Scara has a turn and they all fail except this wannabe dancing Rasta. This guy actually manages to dribble past North Shaw and make it past the 2 cones, and with that he becomes the #1 person on the leaderboard. The second fundamental they're going to be tested on is teamwork. So basically what they have to do is set up El Matador in order for him to score a goal. That wannabe dancing Rasta goes first, but fortunately he fails. And next up is Shakes, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but Shakes has basically been doing this throughout the entire show. He's been setting up Scara this whole time, so I think he has a really good chance at impressing at this one. So Shakes has the ball and Neymar. He plays the ball to El Matador, he shoots, golazo. Now it's Scara's turn and he's also trying to impress. He gets the ball, does a flick up, kicks it long to El Matador, but he just doesn't have that Kevin De Bruyne in him. And the final skill, goal scoring. What? Yeah, they kind of pull this one out their butt, but you know, it makes sense since they're looking for a striker, you know. But I thought it would be strategy because the 4 fundamentals. And look, this bomb Scara just pushed Shakes into action, like come on man. And because of that, Shakes ended up flopping. Bro, this nigga's beginning to show his true nature, man. Next is wannabe dancing Rasta. He flopped. And obviously Scara nailed this drill, but then give props to this purple guy because he scored a side volley. Oh my days, I gotta give him props. That was tough. And with that, the first person to get eliminated was the Jamaican uncle himself, wannabe dancing Rasta. And with only 3 of them left, the next thing they were being tested on was physical attributes, strength and endurance. Oh yeah, and also speed. Shakes was struggling with the strength test, but when it came to speed, my man was the GOAT. He was keeping up with Twisting Tiger. Scara was stronger and just as fast, but he lacked stamina. And the other dude, he didn't really have a chance. And with that, the purple dude was eliminated, leaving out with 2 contenders. And listen to this.
Thanks, coach. It was an honor just to participate. Participate my butt! I wanted to win!
And the final fundamental they're going to be tested on is finally strategy. And how are they gonna do that, you may ask? God dang mowlawning. What the hell? Lawn mowing? What? Are we talking about the same lawn mowing? Nah, there is no way, right? Yeah, there is every single way. This is Supa Strikas. So they begin mowing and these guys are giving it their best, like putting their sweat and blood into it. Look at their face, veins popping out and everything. And the moment Shakes thought he overtook Scara, he looked to his right and he saw no one. Then this man Scara took out a goddamn power mower. Oh my days. This man Scara is really an L for real. He's not even trying to give Shakes a chance. And obviously because of the power mower, Shakes lost by a long shot. But luckily for Shakes, coach says he needs more time. Basically, he doesn't know who to pick. But that really got me thinking, coach is the man in charge, and since he likes them both, why doesn't he just take the two of them? Like, what's stopping him from doing that? They send them both on a train and tell them to await further instructions. And you will never believe this. In the train, they meet the guys. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. Where is the train going? Well, we don't know. But all we know is that apparently there is another train heading straight towards their train. Everybody's panicking. Rasta pulls the emergency brake, but they don't work. Everyone's panicking, but Dancing Rasta, being the goat captain that he is, said, nah, we ain't dying today. He took the ball, hit it straight to this handle, whatever you call it. It changed the road of the rails, and they barely escaped this. Yo, Dancing Rasta's the goat, yo. Definitely my favorite Jamaican uncle. They look at the GPS, and they're heading straight to a dead end. And we thought it was finished. Nah, job finished? I don't think so. Rasta gets the emergency brake, wraps it around the ball, kicks the ball, and it wraps around a convenient stick that was just kind of just standing there, just like that. And just as they reach the dead end, that rope somehow holds the entire train and the Supa Strikas that are inside it. Hey, no way. But the train is balanced between life and death. It shakes Scara or Dancing Rasta move, the other guys die. Whole time I'm sitting there like, bro, isn't this thing supposed to be about soccer, football? What, like, what's going on here? Gents are sitting between life and death right now. What? Scara begins to panic and runs out, essentially leaving them for dead, even Shakes. He quickly regrets this when he sees Shakes falling. He's like, no, what have I done? Shakes! You know, Shakes covered his eyes, but when he opened them, it turns out this was actually all fake. It was just a test. They were basically just testing them to see who's gonna be most loyal to their team and who is more Supa Strikas material, you know. And by that premise, Shakes won. The cameraman cuts to Scara and this man is straight tweaking. He's on some, what the hell, coach? You're telling me that was a test? Nah, what kind of test is that? I was better than Shakes in almost everything. Which, by the way, that is true, because if you check the rankings, he was #1. And coach just hit him with the, yeah, what you're saying is true, but you're not Supa Strikas material. But Shakes is. And then he stormed off. The train stops and the Supa Strikas team along with Shakes are going out to meet the fans. And Shakes, he is having it lit, man. The fans love him. They all congratulating him for being so young. 16 years of age. Oh, he's so young. Oh, he's really moving like Lamine Yamal. He's really out here FaceTiming his family, telling them about how he made the team and all. Man, this is so wholesome, man. It almost brought a tear to my eyes. I love myself some happy endings. Fast forward a few days and it is finally time for Shakes' debut. Well, obviously, since it's Shakes' first game, he's gonna start on the bench. Kickoff begins. Automatic plays the ball to Rasta. Rasta flicks the ball over a player, does a drag back chop on this guy, rainbow flick around this guy to El Matador, volley, but he gets blocked. They try a new tactic. Cujo has the ball. He makes a perfect cross to Automatic, but this guy just keeps flopping. So they try another tactic again. Tiger's on the ball. He makes a cross to Automatic. Straight volley to El Matador, but it gets intercepted. This man Automatic is such a fraud. Bro is just throwing. Sub him out, coach. Put my boy Shakes in. Iron Tank are going up on the counter. Long ball into the box. Header, goal. And Iron Tank have managed to make it 1-0 right before halftime. It's halftime, and since all of their goal scoring tactics were not working, coach decides he's gonna use the elements of surprise. Shakes and Klaus are both coming on for the second half. It's the second half. Block makes a tackle, plays it to Rasta. Rasta finds Klaus, and Klaus is scared, but he's completing some dribbles, man. And then he plays it to the star boy himself, Shakes. It's his first touch of the game. Shakes is on the ball, running forward. Then he does an outside foot away from this guy, looks up, passes the ball to Klaus, but unfortunately Klaus gets tackled. On the next play, Shakes does a wonderful skill away from this player, and then he just gets battered, yo. On their next attack, Cujo has the ball. He plays it to Shakes, and Shakes does a wonderful skill away from this guy, and he does a fake shot, fooling the defender, but at the same time being a wonderful pass for Klaus, making it an easy tap-in for him. And the crowd goes wild. Shakes even takes a moment to celebrate with his sister. W brother, W family, man. W family relationship. Shakes looks at the bench, then he sees an invisible person with a visible foot pick up a sock in order to turn his foot into an invisible foot. Big Boy is off his line and Supa Strikas are ready to play tiki-taka, straight wasting time. But then the ball just bounces over Big Boy's foot, going straight towards the goal, and he can't catch it. But guess who's there? My goat, my best teenager, Shakes with the goal line clearance. Oh my days. What a debut performance. 16 years of age. Nah, Lamine Yamal who? Lamine Yamal who? And with that, Yes, sis. And with that, the ref blows full time and the game's chai. Guys, this video is 20 minutes long, so please show me some love and like the video, subscribe. You don't know how much time this took me, you know. So please make this video go viral. Please, I'm begging. Okay, see y'all later.